Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. In for a head shave now. I've just finished a face shave using the Treat Platinum blade, which I thought was giving me some rash issues and some allergy issues, and I've had a great shave and I've had no reaction to it at all. I did however have a reaction to Wolf Whiskers Wolf Spice soap made by K Shave Works, and it smells very similar to the Holy Black Gunpowder Spice. There must be something in that formulation which gets my skin, and it's making me wonder whether the Great Delicious, there's something in there which I might have hit at that point in the soap which caused me to get that burn on my head. And it just so happened that this blade was in the razor twice when I used two of those soaps, the Great Delicious and the Holy Black. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed I couldn't use the blade. I tried the blade again in my Timeless razor, it worked great. I really enjoyed the shave. The only redness I've got here is from the post-shave stuff that I've used, which include a bump preventer which really stings, and then the witch hazel which I've used, and then I'll be using alcohol splash after I've done my head shave. So, what soap am I using? I'm using a soap out of my contact lens tub. This is actually what's in here. Yeah, this one's, well, I'll show you the full side. I've just filled one up, which that one there is sort of full, as you can see. And what's in there is Glacial Spearmint by Stirling, because I've sent that tub over to Ken Lee because I actually bought it for him and forgot about it, and he sent it to me, so I've sent it back to him. I just took a couple of samples out of it with his best wishes to try it out, and I'm looking forward to it. Love Glacial Stirling, it's real good stuff. What I've done is I've took that blob out, put it in my Saponaficio Varacino shaving grail bowl, fill the sink up with some nice cold water. So I'm using my Leo Frilot custom shading brush, Celtic with the hoops, and the reason for using this today is it's Celtic versus Aberdeen tonight at 9 o'clock Western Australia time in the Scottish Cup final. So I don't normally like using these brushes in the bowls because I don't like to whack the sides with them, but because the loft on this one's pretty good, I can get away with it. It needs a lot more water than that, that's for sure. Now Glacial Stirling, because of the amount of menthol in there, does require quite a bit more water than normal soap, I find. Otherwise you end up with a real thick gloopy mess. So you never get the same volume of lather as you do as a non-mentholity soap generally. But the best soap I've used so far that gets a good lather with all the menthol in it is Stirling. I also find if you bowl lather Stirling menthol soaps, you tend to have less problems with the lather itself, trying to get it up there. I've got this on my fingertips and it's freezing the fingers off me right now. So I'm assuming there's a lot of menthol in here, and when you mix that with a minty scent as well, you really get menthol to death. And this is lathering beautifully, as you can see. Not a lot of time really. I do spend a little bit more time with my bowl lathers than I do with my face lathers generally, because I can really dial it in and get it exactly as I want it. This is freezing cold. I'm not done yet, but you can get the picture from there. I'm just going around the bowl, making sure that I've got all the soap off. I'll dip the tips again, because it could be doing with just a little bit more water. There we go. That's it. It's just sometimes you can look at a lather and think it's right, and if you just give it just a small splash of water, it just explodes and you get exactly what you're looking for, which is pretty much that. Yeah, that's a beautiful lather. Scent strength out the tub is way up there. It's pretty much a 10. I don't even have the tub anymore, just out of that little contact lens container. It's easily a 10. And then when you lather it up, it goes up to 11. Now, Spinal Tap style soap this stuff, because it is super strong. It's filling up the bathroom. It smells like someone that's 30 people in here chewing gum. So I've spent a bit longer on that than what I normally would, but that is a beautiful lather. I've got stuff everywhere here at the moment. I'm just rinsing off the handle on the brush, because that's the only problem with these short handle brushes. And using the Wolf Whiskers Odyssey was what highlighted to me that I prefer a longer handle brush, because the soap doesn't come right along the handle. The shorter the handle, the more soap you get in your fingers and all over the place. It's not so bad when you're face lathering, but when you're bowl lathering it's really difficult. I just want to highlight where I'm here right now. My face feels great. I've got no irritation, no burn, nothing at all. Using the Timeless, which is a very efficient razor, 0.95, so it's the top open gap. Right, Wunderbar. I was going to use the R41 today, but because that treat blade didn't affect me when my last shave there, I'll put it in here again. I want to see if I can get through a shave without any irritation using this one, because that's where I got my worst irritation on my head, using this razor with the Treat Platinum with the Great Licious. So let's wet the head. This is going to be freezing. I already know that because this soap is freezing cold with menthol. And both, I've got menthol cooling already. Instant, as soon as it hit my skin, I could feel it. Yeah, this is super, super menthol. Burning my eyes. Just going to dip the tips because that's could be doing just a little bit more water, and that's what it's all about, finding the right lather for your particular style of shaving. And I like it on my head to be thick but wet at the same time, not too dry, because you want it to sort of last through the whole shave if you can. Okay. That's really mentholated. Now because I've got so many days growth, 3 or 4 days, 3 days I think it is, I'm going to go with the grain first. This is the same treat blade that I just used on my face. I'm still not sure whether I'm using these razors right, these slats, because to me it's a strange thing, because your hand almost wants to put it on the angle of the blade so that the blade's going straight down. What I mean by that is the blade runs at an angle, so your hand wants to go like that to put the blade on the angle so that it's straight. This is absolutely freezing cold, like definitely up there with the wintergreen. I think when you make something glacial and you add mint into it, you're going to get very, very cold. I don't expect the tuxedo, Eskimo tuxedo, to be quite as cold as this, due to the fact that it's not a mint scented soap. Now I do have a couple of little cuts on my head here, not cut spots, which I reckon I pick them when I'm sleeping. So I will get a few cuts up here, I would imagine. I might not. My head is like an ice cube right now. That's the only way to describe this sensation. Like a knife through butter, I tell you what. going to wet my fingertips just to give you an idea what the slickness is like on Stirling. It's really good. So I'm just going over a few bits here, which I sort of, they haven't taken. In fact, it's actually really good. There's not much left here. Right, we're into the sink because there's a fair bit of hair in there now. I do think whenever your sink's full of hair, you should rinse it out, because otherwise you get your brush covered in it. When you dip the tips, you get your razor covered in it, and then you splatter hair all over your head as well. But I'm not a big believer on emptying the sink every 5 minutes, especially over here in Australia where water's at a premium. This is going to be freezing. Yeah, that's cold. That's really cold. Oh, I love it. I love this menthol. Right, back in the bowl, just reinvigorate what we've got in here. Which is, that's only half of what's in fact, it's only a third of what's actually left in the bowl. And this is going to be freezing cold. Oh yes. Oh, how can you not love menthol? Apart from you guys that are unfortunate enough to be allergic to it. I wish there was something they could give you that would give you the same effect. I suppose mint, a good minty, oh this is just eye burning menthol. Same scent strength as the wintergreen, really. In fact, it's probably stronger than wintergreen scent. The performance, as you guys know, I love Stirling soaps. They always perform to high standard, as good as anything else out there. Right, against the grain. I'm really, really happy that the treat blades aren't reacting to my skin, because I do enjoy using them. They are a good blade. This is actually, they're a very nice blade for my hair type and for my skin. They are a thicker blade. They're not as thick as a Kai, but they're definitely in the thick blade set. I mean, that's BBS completely. There's nothing there but slickness from the soap. There's no hair there at all whatsoever. Oof, I'm getting soap everywhere now. As you can see, the Stirling soap just gives you slickness for days, as they say. I've just cut my ear. Not my ear, but just cut my skin, my head just above my ear. Just here, I think. I could be wrong, it might just have been a tug on a hair for some reason, I don't know why. Sort of waiting for the blood to pour out. Yeah, this blade, I really enjoy the Treat Platinum. For me, it's one of the better blades that I've used. It's just smooth, sharp, and look, every blade works differently in different razors. It really does. This feels a lot smoother in this than it did in the Timeless, and it felt very smooth in the Timeless, so that just gives you an idea of what it feels like in the Wunderbar. So that's a couple of those spots I've just went over. I don't think I've cut them open, they're just a bit tender. Right. Don't ask me why I'm bending my ear over so much with this, because this razor has got no overhang at all. There's nothing to worry about cutting the ear with the sides here, only the front obviously. Oh. It just takes shaving to a new level, this razor. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's better than my Timeless. And I'll be brutally honest with you, I didn't think I would ever say that. The problem with this shaving game is, I find something and I absolutely love it. It works great. It's the best thing I've used. And then I try something else and it's better. And you try something else and it's better. And you go along the line and you start dropping the stuff off that you loved 6 months ago, and it gets flogged or it gets sent to someone or piffed or traded, and you keep moving along the line. This shaving gear never gets any easier to buy. This is a superb razor. Absolutely top notch. I think if you want to try a slant, and you've never tried one before, as I haven't, this is the only slant I've ever used. But it's precision engineered. It's the only razor I've used where I get no judder. There's no along your head, there's none of that shit. It just does what it does. So efficient. And it does it so efficiently. But the thing that amazes me with this razor is I'm never worried to use it. It doesn't give me any fear at all. Did it when I got it? Yeah, shit yeah it did. That looks like a freaking crazy ass razor. It looks really aggressive, massive gap under the blade. There's a lot of blade showing on the top. It looks insane. It looks amazing. And yeah, I was a bit apprehensive when I first got it because it's a new style, new thing. It's almost like, to me when I looked at that, it was similar to thinking of going to like a Chevette, which is obviously a totally different thing altogether. But that was the mindset of going into it. It was like it was going to be quite aggressive, quite difficult to use, hard to handle. It's the exact opposite if I'm honest. That is freezing cold. Freezing cold. I love it. I love menthol. This scent is beautiful. It's a real spearmint. It's pure spearmint. It's amazing. It's not my sort of thing, because I'm not a big minty person, but in terms of, unless it's wintergreen. But if you like Wrigley's chewing gum, spearmint Wrigley's chewing gum, the white one, this is a dead ringer for that scent. Oh yes. Look at that lather. It is just out of this world. My head's almost BBS anyway. There's not much left, but I'm just going to lather it all up so I can get the sensation while I go through this final pass. Now hopefully today I'll get through both my shaves without any issues in terms of my phone running out of data. Not data, I keep saying data, out of storage. Because I've got plenty of storage on there now. I think I deleted everything off my phone before I did it. Yes, that's right, Stephen. I definitely did it this time. So if it cuts out, it's because I've been talking for far too long. My videos are too long, but it should be alright. Oh yes. My head's numb now. Numb with the cold. Love it. Menthol's burning my eyes. It's not burning my eyes, but the vapour is just insane. And the scent is just filling the bathroom up. I know you think I work for Stirling, you think I was out there making money from this, the way I talk about this stuff, but I just love it that much. This is just literally just a, hopefully I can get through this without any nicks or cuts this time, because I have had a few from this razor so far, but it's more learning curve cuts than anything else. Trying to learn the angle of the razor. Oh, Stirling soaps, I love you. I'm not sure whether I actually used the, not sure if I used the wintergreen for a head shave. The wintergreen's obviously, it's my favourite scent. I love it. Now this is where Stirling shines in my opinion. Just wet your hand. I hope you guys can sort of gauge just how safe I feel with this razor. Look, if I cut myself now, it's just out of stupidity, out of bad angles or something like that. It's not the soap's fault, that's for sure. And I do spend a little bit longer on my crown than most do, but I just like it to be as smooth as it can possibly be. There's a bit right there. I normally get this bit. Now it does have a little bit of a learning curve, this razor. Has a slightly different angle to any other DE that I've used. Very slight, but it is different. I do notice it when I use it that I have to hold it different angles on my head and different angles on my face to get the same effect. There we go, final one. That feels amazing. And the other thing that you get was, I think I've actually nicked myself right there, as you can see. Just a little one, but it's definitely a nick, so let's knock that on the head now. Dip the old styptic pencil. There we go, that's that done. shall be no more. Just rinse that off now. Right, and then we'll move on to, what do I use here? Spearmint. Thea's medicated. Good splash of that. Oh yes. Yes sirree. Oh, feels amazing. Oh, what a scent as well. If you haven't got Thea's medicated and you love the scent of cloves, if you've ever tried Razorock sweets, oil candies, lollies, whatever you want to call them, sweeties is what I used to call them, boiled sweets, that medicated, Thea's medicated, smells exactly like Razorock, exactly. Okay, so while that's drying, we'll have a look at what we used. The soap today was, I can't show you, but it is in this little contact lens container, was Glacial Spearmint, and it was incredible. Beautiful, thick, rich, luxurious lather. Easy to lather, easy to load. Not that I had to load it, I was just lathering in the bowl. But I know how good Stirling soaps are. And like I say, the actual tub of soap is on its way over to Kenley in Texas, because he's purchased the Glacial Wintergreen now with the splash, and he's also purchased the splash to go with the Spearmint soap. So rather than hanging on to it, I thought I would just send it straight over to him and take a couple of samples out rather than wait until I use it. The brush needs a little bit more of a clean out. Frilot Custom Celtic shaving brush with the hoops, green and white hoops. Beautiful, beautiful brush. The Tuxedo knot is pretty much just the black book knot in my opinion. There's not much difference, if any difference at all. The razor, the Wunderbar by Razorock. You can get this from italianbarber.com. I picked this up for a great price off of Oivia Chapel or Alex on Facebook. And yeah, I've just been at one of his raffles today and lost again. I'm shit on raffles. I took garbage. But yeah, beautiful titanium handle, stainless steel head, precision made head, probably the most precisionally made head that I've used precisionally. It is absolutely impeccably made. You cannot, there's no error with this putting blades in. You can't, there's no blade wiggle, there's none. The blade goes on and it goes exactly where it's meant to go. Superbly made. Really, really impressed with it. And today I had the treat blade in there, treat platinum, which I thought was causing me an issue with reaction, and it's not. I have had an absolutely amazing shave there on my head. One of the best. One of the best, definitely. Other than that little nick there, I don't really give a shit about little things like that anymore. It's when the R41 takes a chunk, it takes a chunk, you can actually feel the dent. So that's dried in now, so I'm now going to finish off my full shave with Nivea Men Too Faced, which as you can see, there's not much left in this one. Go back for seconds. My kids are out lifting the dog shit up. We live in a house where there's, the kids do their chores no matter what. They're only, well, my daughter's 12 now, 12, 9 and 7. They all have a day when they do the chores. Saturday is Max's day. But the two brothers, Max and Mitchell, always help each other out so that they can get back on the iPad or watch the computer or play football or whatever they want to do. Unfortunately, it's the prior ones, the computer and TV, which generally take precedent nowadays. When I was a kid, it was all about football. That was all I did every day. But hours and hours. Finish school, straight up the park with my mates and play football until it was 8, 9 o'clock at night. Back home and get my dinner at 9 o'clock at night and go to bed. The world's a different place now. It's just trying to find a balance for your kids, which is a very difficult thing when you've got a very moody 12-year-old daughter. But anyway guys, thanks very much for tuning in. I think I've went through everything there. You've seen everything else I've used. I've really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. I hope Celtic win tonight. I'm on the hoops. And you guys take care, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. And I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.